All right, so I'm never going to Budget again. Never again with Budget Automotive. I went there today. It was a nightmare. I ordered the vehicle nearly a week ago. Huge blow up going to this wedding. I'm going to be driving tomorrow night after the big wedding between Krish Mohan and Liz Victory, our own Liz Victory from that broadcast here on the network. I'm driving to Tennessee for a second wedding. And I've got issues with the second wedding to begin with, the fact that it's in Tennessee. But I had this big blow up. I had a ride. I was going down. It didn't work out. And huge fight. I said, you know what? I don't need anyone's ride. I'm taking my own. It had nothing to do with the people riding me. It was some other crap. But I got a rent-a-car, went to Budget, won't take a debit card.
What?
Won't take a debit card. Won't take a debit card. I had to walk from Budget to Enterprise. I walked over an hour. It was supposed to be like an hour and a half, but you know me, I'm a fast walker. It took me an hour to get from Budget to Enterprise. They didn't have a vehicle. I had to take an Uber back, an Uber the other way, 2 Ubers, intersecting Ubers. Couldn't print out the insurance. It was just like a nightmare. But eventually I got a car, ended up spending $200 more than I should have because Budget decided that they weren't going to take debit cards. Never again. I'm never going to go there. The guy was so rude.
How rude?
So rude. He was so rude. I go in there. I tell him, he's like, well, that's the policy. Not like, oh, I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. No, that's the policy. Nothing we can do for you. That's the policy. Well, you know what, Jagoff? Now I'm calling corporate. I've got like your business card on a screenshot. I'm making it go online, you know, putting it in the review. I'm done. Budget's over.
Yeah.
Enough with the Budget. Like, what a terrible experience. And the entire wedding, I shouldn't be driving there in the first place. I shouldn't even be driving there in the first place. God bless them. I'm happy for the kids getting married.
I was about to say, who is this that's getting married?
It's my cousin. It's his girlfriend. Great people.
Great people? Okay.
Love them.
She's cute?
So it seems. I haven't met her in person.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But both of them live in Florida.
You could have lied and said she was. I mean, I
Both
guess
of
you
them-
wanted to be honest. You just said, so it seems. Like, what the hell?
Both
What
of
answer
them
is that?
both of them live in Florida. None of them have
Y'all wouldn't have known.
family in Tennessee.
All right.
So the question I'm asking the audience, what's the point of having family in Florida if the wedding's in Tennessee? I mean, that's why you have family in Florida.
Yeah.
Vacation time. This is treading into my vacation time. I mean, I'm happy for them. I'm glad to take part, but my goodness, why couldn't it be in Florida? That's where I want to be. And I've said it to people in person. I haven't said it on air, but I'm just going to be real honest. The wedding is about us.
Okay.
And we all want to be in Florida.
But you was
But we're going to be in Tennessee.
yeah. Now which part of Tennessee is this?
Pigeon Ridge. I've never even heard of it. It's by some sort of woods. I don't know. It's by the woods. People are like, "Oh, look at the mountains." I look outside across the valley and I see the hills. I want to see the sandy.
So wait a minute. They're getting married like outside, like in a
outside in a barn.
Huh.
When they could be getting married on the beach.
Maybe they don't like sand. They like dirt.
He moved from Pittsburgh to Florida. Of course he likes the sand. Why would you move from Pittsburgh to Florida? I'm just... And then the whole rent-a-car thing. My goodness, I got into a huge shouting match with my father. You know, I love him to death, but my God, I got to rent a car, and it was like... Ah.
Are you two sharing? Like you both...
No,
like
they already went.
Okay.
That's the glory of it. I get to go down and do whatever the hell I want. I've got my own car.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'm not taking my car. You've seen my car. It's a piece of shit. It's like 20 years old.
No.
Do we even need
it's nice.
It's a dump. Do we even need to tell people what this is? That's Jay Cooper. I'm Brian Crawford. This is River Talk.
It did what it was supposed to do.
Why do we do this every week? We say it's River Talk. It's the River's Edge Radio Network at riversedgepgh.com. You can listen on your Echo device by saying, Alexa, play the River's Edge station on TuneIn. People know it. They've heard it. They hear it every week. I feel like a broken record the way I start the show. I'm getting sick of introducing the show. Don't you ever feel like people need to know, but isn't there a better way to do it? Like, I'm sick of saying that. It's like a broken record. I come in and I say the same thing.
We could do subtitles. But I feel like that would be...
That wouldn't work for the radio audience.
No, it wouldn't. That would suck for them. Well, damn.
Got Elena Rayn. She's going to be talking with us. She's here. She's from Pittsburgh. She's back in Pittsburgh.
And she's foxy, too. Just so y'all know, like for the ones that
She's
are
playing at
listening.
the Acoustic Brunch this Sunday. I'd love to go, but I'll be in Tennessee at the wedding. Of course. I'm excited to see it. I've got mixed feelings. So, like,
Are you and your cousin close? Like you said, they're good people.
Yeah.
You put your cousin and his future wife together in one little pack. And
I
said
love my cousin.
They're good people.
My cousin was a big supporter of the River's Edge before anyone else was.
Okay.
So
he's listening now then, so he knows.
He knows.
Okay. So
hey, it's all truth talk here. I'm a truth sayer. Brian
What's up,
Crawford.
cuz?
I'm here with Jaye Cooper. I'm Brian Crawford, Pittsburgh's Moral Compass, setting things right, just like budget. Don't ever go to budget. North Hills budget. Done. I went to Enterprise afterwards. I walked to Enterprise and was treated with respect.
You said budget? They still exist?
They still exist.
Holy crap!
I don't know how with the level of customer service I got.
Oh my god!
I can't speak for all budgets, but I can speak for that one, and I will tell you, very, very low quality in the customer service department. Very low. Very low quality. Very low quality.
Did you leave a review on their
I
website?
left many reviews. I reviewed their Facebook page. Actually, it gets better. So I reviewed their Facebook page. I reviewed the main company page. I emailed the company. I called the company. I'm doing all of the things. Then I messaged the Facebook page.
Okay.
I messaged both of them. The local one gets back to me. I responded and said that I was treated unprofessionally and this and that and the other and the whole story. I explained it all. And the response I got, okay.
That's it?
That's it. So I said, oh, okay. Well, okay then. I'm screenshotting your response and I'm going to share that around too because I'm pissed.
That screenshot gets people in trouble, man. I
So
swear to God.
then the guy tells me that he doesn't give a shit because he doesn't own the place anymore. So he's still managing the page.
He manages the page,
He manages
but he
the
don't
page,
run it.
but he doesn't run it or own it. It doesn't care. What kind of back alley crazy hood rat shit is that? That's what I'm saying, Jay. You know the hood rat shit. That's
Yes,
hood
I do.
rat. That's like so fucking ratchet.
It is ratchet.
Thank you.
It sounded weird when you said it.
And I am proud of myself.
It
That
sounded weird when
is
you
the
said
first time
ratchet.
I've used the word ratchet appropriately, I think.
And you did. You did. But it was
That
just...
shit's so ratchet.
It was just, you said it again.
I will never give them my business again, ever.
Oh, man. Sorry you had to go through that.
Hear it from Pittsburgh's Moral Compass. Amoral. Budget is amoral. Go to Enterprise. I was treated with respect when I walked in the door.
Enterprise is nice.
They said,
I've heard
come back at
good
this
things.
time. The person who greeted me, he smiled. He shook my hand. He talked to me like I was a person instead of treating me like I was some sort of cretin. And you know what it reminds me of? It was crazy. I went to the DMV. And did you go to the DMV recently when you got your car? Did you have to go there for any reason?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Nope.
Well, I went to the DMV, and you know the horror stories. Oh, it's awful, and the lines, and the anger, and all of that.
Yeah, I read your post on Facebook. Apparently, you had a good time.
I had a great time.
You're like the first person I ever heard that actually
I went to the
online
DMV.
to give DMV props. Like
I
I've never
went
heard
to
anyone
the
do that
DMV,
before.
the one downtown on, I believe it's on Stanwyck Street, right downtown.
Right.
I go to the DMV, and I went in with the attitude. Oh, the DMV, waiting in line. You know, the things that go through everyone's mind when they walk through the DMV, the stereotypical things. I went in with that mentality. And I was completely turned around. They changed my mood for the better. I walk in there. I go up to this computer screen.
Okay.
And there's a lady standing behind the computer screen. And as I approach, she smiles at me. Which, right there...
What kind of smile? Like
a very warm and friendly and welcoming smile.
Okay.
Very... Not what you're used to when you think of DMV. You usually think of the sneer. You know, welcome to the DMV.
Yeah.
That's what you're thinking of, right, when you walk into the DMV.
Right, the
but
ones
no,
that
this
talk
lady,
to you but
she
don't look
reminds
at you.
You know, like the old lady at work who's like wise and like is real friendly and gives you pointers and, you know, it's okay, Jay. Things will be all right. Just roll with the punches, you'll get through it. That kind of lady who tries to coach up your sucky job.
Yeah, those very friendly, fragile-looking women. It's like
That's her.
It's like the Golden Girls, but with the library glasses necklace
Yes,
thing. And
that's the lady that greeted me
Okay.
at the DMV. She was so friendly. She goes, "Oh, here's a ticket, sir. Just head right over there. They'll greet you as soon as possible." So I go over there, and it's minutes later. This lady, another lady, she welcomes me up to the table. Super nice, super friendly. She says, "Happy holidays." She puts up her hand before I have a chance to speak and say, "It's only October." She goes, "It's coming before you know it. You might as well get used to it." She was speaking truth, but still super polite, still super nice. I was in and out of the DMV, license in hand,
like that, just
under 10 minutes.
woo.
Under 10 minutes.
You didn't even have to sit down.
Barely.
You could have just stood.
And they were so polite and so friendly, and it was just a great experience. I would go back.
Did you write a review for them?
I called, actually, Harrisburg. And you know me and phones. I don't like to go on the phone. I picked up the phone. I called the Harrisburg office, and I asked to speak to a manager so I could compliment the service that I received at the DMV.
Did you give the woman's name?
I didn't have her name, but I told them exactly. But
damn Brian.
Hear me out. I knew exactly who I was and my driver's license number, and they could track that to the computer to find out who waited on me.
Okay.
And I did mention the lady who greeted me when I entered the place as well, so they know who it is.
Okay.
Very easy to find out, and
Yeah,
I also
you gotta give the Golden Girl some love.
and
man.
I also
Just
gave them
saying.
my number. You know, I'm good at that. So what I did with budget today, calling in and complaining, that's very rare for me, Brian Crawford. I'm not one who does that. I typically call with compliments. And this is an exception, the whole budget thing. But one time, there was a lady at Walmart who always waited on me.
Okay.
It was always a great experience. I called and talked to the manager. I called into corporate a few different times because I was just I was a repeat customer. She ended up receiving money from the phone calls. Corporate sent her a check
Okay.
because she was recognized so many times, and she was like so happy, gave me a big hug, and I didn't do it. I didn't know.
She didn't give you a cut?
No, she didn't give
of
me a
the
cut.
money
That's
that
okay. She earned the money, but you know, I made someone's
Heifer.
day. I made
I would
someone's
ask for
day.
some money.
Oh well,
She works at Walmart.
she works at Walmart.
Walmart people-
Elena here is
hey,
talking.
People
Yeah.
make money at Walmart, okay?
Well, it depends on what you do.
Let's not get it twisted. There are people, I got a friend that work at Walmart, and she make more money than me.
It
so I'm
depends.
not-
It depends on what you do at Walmart. I can say that.
she's a cashier.
We've got Elena Rayn here.
She makes
now,
more
are
money
you,
than me.
Are you?
bullshit.
Are you a Walmart shopper?
Me? Oh, I can't say I am. I can't say that I am. I'm one of those people that tends to boycott Walmart until like I absolutely desperately need something from there, and then I run there and I'm like, oh man, I hate myself. But
So why do you boycott Walmart?
why wouldn't you boycott Walmart?
I need to know because Walmart is like my favorite place to go. Anything that's
It's
cheap,
just, you
I'm
know,
there.
like a lot of like child slave labor overseas and adult slave labor overseas. The whole like capitalist thing.
With
underpaid
Walmart,
employees.
or is that the companies that Walmart does business with? Because they all-
Walmart? I mean, Walmart itself is known for severely underpaying its employees. To speak
Are
back
they,
to
though?
the subject.
But here's the thing, like honestly, like and just to play devil's advocate, because I worked in retail for a lot
Go
of
for
years,
it.
and and people at Walmart always made way more than I did working any other retail job.
That's what I'm saying, man.
But did you ever make a lot of money working a retail
No,
job?
no,
I mean,
no.
it's like apples and oranges.
You're
it's
right.
like, oh,
I
you
gu-
know, you're
I guess-
making like $2 more, yay! And like Sam Walton has how many
Sure.
$100 billion?
And that's
Like
the-
it's just I don't like it.
And that's the funny part. I'm making like $4 more than what I made as a cashier when I worked at Ames department store, and that was back in.
Ames? You worked at
and-
Ames?
Yes, I worked at
Dang.
Ames. It was back in 1999. I'm showing my age right now, but yeah,
Wow, I was still in high
Wow,
school.
Ames.
yes.
So here's my thing though. So you're right, but I guess my point is everybody picks on Walmart and points at Walmart, but really Walmart treats their people better than any of the other retailers. So though I agree with you, they don't pay enough. They should do more. Like in comparison to Target, they pay a lot more actually.
I don't know. I've never worked in retail. Actually, I've worked in food mostly. Whenever I've had jobs other than
Yeah, they
what
don't
I
pay
do now,
anything
but-
either, right?
No, it's
Yeah.
about the same. It's pretty much
Yeah.
like overwork, not enough pay. So I don't know for a fact how much they pay here at Walmart or at Target, but I just know
They
that
pay
I
more
don't
than me.
support Walmart a lot. But at the same time, Walmart, you know, it's fine. Do it.
Walmart is
Go
cool.
there.
You know what?
Have fun.
Because Walmart, okay, let me tell you something. Walmart got Krispy Kreme donuts waiting for you as soon as you walk in. They got Patti LaBelle sweet potato pie, so I definitely get on top of that. They're in electronics department. I mean, $5 DVDs. Come on.
DVDs?
Yes.
DVDs.
Yes, DVDs, babe. Like sometimes, you know, you can't take your Fire Stick to everyone's house. You come over there.
Your Fire Stick?
Yes, Amazon
Fire Stick.
It's
a streaming service.
Damn, girl, where you been? The thing you put in the back
At least
of the
I'm not
TV?
using DVDs. What do you mean, where have I been?
What's a DVD?
I'm doing it all, girl. What you talking about? I'm doing it all.
Elena Rayn
I'm
in
doing
studio?
Blu-ray. I'm doing DVDs. I'm doing all that shit, you know?
Jay
VHS?
Cooper, Brian Crawford.
Yes.
Here
She clowning me on DVDs, man. I got a collection.
Broadcasting here at Mr. Small's Theater on the River's Edge Radio Network. This is River Talk, and we're ready for some music, Jay, because we've got Cooper's Corner.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You know what? Let's give it a different theme. Like, you know, just... Cooper's Corner.
Cooper's Corner. Cooper's Corner. Cooper's Corner.
Yes.
At least I can join in with that one, with my lack of rhythm.
I know, right? I did that to go with your non-rhythmness. Plus, I felt pumped from drinking this energy drink, so I was like, let me just
You're
try
drinking an
something
energy
different.
drink. I'm drinking cold brew from the great Mr. Small's Cafe right down the road there, Mr. Small's Cafe, with all of your caffeine and alcohol needs.
That's awesome. Well, you know what? The reason why I'm so energized is because I feel like the 13-year-old boy from El Paso a couple days ago who decided to take his mom's brand new BMW out for a joyride.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You know how old this boy was?
I do not.
13 years old.
Oh, wow.
13 years old. That's right. 13-year-old Aaron Campero from El Paso took his mom's brand new BMW and drove away. Now, apparently, he made a stop to pick up his girlfriend at her house and then take off again. Now, his older sister, Liza, she hopped in the car with her mom in a different car to go find him. And she's calling like all these moms in the local area and stuff, trying to find him and shit. And she did catch up with him. And she recorded a video of her pulling, like driving next to him, driving the BMW. And she said, pull over now. She was pissed. So the guy the son pulled over to the side. She pulled up behind him. She got out. She opened up the door, pulled him out, and whooped his ass. Took a belt, beat him up in front of his girlfriend. Man, that's just sad. I want to know how the hell you able to drive at 13 though.
That's impressive.
That's crazy.
I've seen kids who do it younger.
Is he a country boy? Because like country boys know how to drive really young.
I mean, it's Texas.
Driving like tractors around and stuff, you know.
Yeah, I'm just saying though. But that's some ballsy shit though. A BMW.
Well, there was
a
that
brand
kid-
new one at that. That's some ballsy shit.
There was
to
that
do
kid
something
in
like that.
Australia who stole a car and drove across almost the entire continent
Oh wow.
with a
That's
stolen
impressive.
car, and he was, I think, even younger than
And
that.
Australia
On
is
one take of
scary.
gas.
Yeah, I could imagine.
On one take of gas. Damn.
Something like that.
How big are they?
No,
how
actually,
big are their-
he stopped and filled back up. That's right.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, how big are their tanks in fucking Australia, man?
Yeah, it's impressive, though.
Yeah. So the sister, she went on Twitter, and one of the funniest things that she tweeted was "R.I.P. to my little brother," which I thought was really
because
nice.
he's gonna get screwed. His
Oh
mom's
yeah,
mad.
he's in some shit. In fact, they said that he's pretty much fucked all through 2019. Like he's grounded.
I felt like I was gonna get grounded at age 32 for the rent a car. No, I love it. It's the thing is that's what happens when you have parents that care, right?
Mm-hmm.
They worry about all sorts of things, but but I think the rent a car is just gonna be such a great decision. I'll be able to go where I want, travel the national forest, all sorts of good stuff.
Yeah, stealing is not fun.
No,
I mean,
no.
well, actually, no. Let me take that back.
Stealing can be fun.
Stealing
but,
is fun until
Yeah.
you get caught.
yes.
That's
Then it's
what
bad.
it is. Because you guys have heard my story many times about me stealing from Ames and stealing from Hills and stuff like that.
Which I still cannot forgive you for, stealing from Hills.
Okay, let me tell you something. I was 17 and
there's
we were
no
collection.
excuse.
I didn't say it was an excuse.
It's
I'm just telling you what
Hills.
happened.
You should feel
I'm just telling you what happened.
You should feel shame.
I felt-
Shame on your
I felt-
soul.
You know what? You know what I'm upset about? I'm upset that I already stole enough shit from them, and I had the balls to sit at the booth where they serve the popcorn and the pretzels and all that shit and the Slurpee. I'm sitting there playing with the shit that I stole from in their store. That's some ballsy shit. And now I could have just left, but what did I do? I got greedy. I wanted to go back and steal some more shit, and that's how I got caught.
But you deserved it.
Yeah, I deserve it. But this is where it
You
got crazy.
stole from Hills, man.
This I did not share with anybody though. This was crazy. Okay, so they kept me there, right? And then they called my parents, and my parents had to come and get me. And they was like, hey, your son, he's banned from Hills and shit like that. I'm thinking my dad is going to beat my ass when we get home. I was dreading it. Did not beat my ass. Instead, he took all my stuff that I liked, all my magazines, my video games. He took all my shit, anything that I loved. He threw it all in 2 big garbage bags and took it out of my room.
That's when he stole from Hills.
Huh?
That's when he stole from Hills?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if you stole from Ames, he would have slapped you on the wrist. But I mean, Hills, that's a different
Yeah,
story.
but that shit that he threw in the bag wasn't shit that I stole. That was bought shit. And I'm just mad. I'm just like, man, you gotta understand, this was back in like 97. So like PlayStation 1 was still big back then and everything. So, he took my Crash Bandicoot, man, and he took my
Did he take all your DVDs?
I didn't have many DVDs back then. I did not.
Oh, that's right. They weren't really a thing in '97, I guess.
Yeah, he was spinning the laser
We were still
discs back
using.
then.
Yeah, laser
spinning the
discs.
laser discs.
Laser discs
Laser
lasted
discs?
2
What's
years,
that?
and they were
I don't even know
obsolete.
what that is.
Oh, how old are you?
Wait, how old are you?
25.
Oh God,
That's
you're a
it,
baby. Yeah, you don't know about that.
You're
shit.
making me even feel older. At least I know what a laser disc is.
You don't even know what a Walkman is. Probably.
I know
you
what
probably
a Walkman is.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I had one.
You
I
had one
too. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I was just checking.
So a laser disc actually had a better visual quality than DVDs.
Yeah, but they were so goddamn expensive. That's
they
why
were
they
expensive,
that's
and
why,
they failed to.
that's why-
They actually failed to the VHS. Like we went through this phase where we went to we regressed into bad technology through VHS, through the cassette tapes. We kind of went back to the past to bad tech, and then we jumped back ahead again. So, Elena, I have to ask: are you a Hills fan?
As a child, I was always a Hills fan. Yes.
Good answer.
Yes, but at the same time, I didn't really have enough discretion to know, what was good or bad. I just my mom liked it, so I liked it.
Oh no, you knew. Trust me, you were channeling. You were channeling the Hills energy. It was passing through you like.
Let me tell you something.
They talk about in religion. They talk about
Yeah.
the Holy Spirit and how it goes into you. Not that Hills was anything religious.
So that's why I used to have
but-
seizures on the floor all the time. Okay, got it.
At Hills. No, but Hills
You was on the
just,
floor at Hills. Ugh.
I felt the spirit move me.
Well, yeah, the energy in
That was pop, dried up
The
pop.
demons coming out of me.
No, there's no
Sticking
demons.
to your
There's no
skin.
demons at Hills.
Dried up.
Only angels at
It
Hills.
was dried up Coca-Cola that was up against your skin that you felt. I feel
At
the
best.
demons.
At
No, but I
best.
could feel the energy of Hills flowing through your veins, just bringing you savings and good memories and ices and popcorn.
But then what happened to them?
So actually,
What happened to him? Shit, Walmart
mean, there was-
happened.
No,
and all
Walmart
See, I
this
told
stuff
you,
happened.
Walmart is the worst.
You're both wrong. What happened
What
is
happened?
your evil company Ames purchased Hills, and
Well,
they were
yeah,
able,
they did buy them. Yes.
and that's why Hills closed. And they were
Right.
able to purchase Hills because of bad business decisions. Hills made bad decisions on a corporate level, bad investment decisions, which allowed Ames the ability to buy Hills.
And all they did was they kept the same shit. They kept everything that Hills did. They just changed the color from red and white to green and white.
Well, yeah, why
then-
would they want to
and
change
they
what
just
Hills
changed
did?
it.
Hills did everything right. Everything right.
I'm just saying.
Hills was except for corporate decisions, apparently, because they died.
Now,
But
what happened to Ames?
what happened to Ames? They
Yeah.
just stunk. But I'm bitter because I liked Hills and they bought out Hills, and that makes me sad.
Well, you know what? I'm bitter towards them too because they fired me.
Well, that's a good reason.
Yeah, she don't know about that. Okay, look, okay, I got caught stealing from Hills and I was banned. And then when I got older, I worked at the same place, but Ames took over it. So I got a job working at Ames, and then I got fired for coincidentally stealing. So, not coincidentally, it's ironic. Yeah, that's the
I better
word.
hide my stuff. Somebody's got hot hands in here.
I know. Right?
I haven't stolen in a good while. So,
Speaking of stealing,
you know.
friggin' good old Hillary Clinton, who some argue stole the primary. You know what this means? Long-time listeners of River Talk, it is time for the Hood Rat of the Week here on River Talk.
And not no one from Florida this time. This is actually in a small place called Davis, California.
Okay.
Police are investigating the possibility that a high school student, whose name they did not share with us, may have made a batch of cookies mixed with human remains.
Ooh.
Yeah. And gave them to unknowing classmates to eat. And these people, the ashes that he supposedly mixed in his cookie batter were his grandparents.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, ain't that something?
That's at this Da Vinci?
Yeah, at the Da Vinci High School, charter high school. So it's always the fancy schools that get like all the
it's
fucked
like the
up
little
shit.
mini Brett Kavanaugh in there, like.
Right? This is
I bet that's what he did when he was in high school too.
Probably. This is like something straight out of like American Vandal. Like you have heard of that, right?
No, but I get the impression.
You have Netflix?
Yes, I do.
Okay, look it up.
All right.
American Vandal.
All right.
It's a great show.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, you know what? This reminds me of this podcast I've been listening to called Dolores Roach, The Horrors of Dolores Roach. It's a Gimlet podcast, which I love everything that Gimlet does, and I hate to give away a free plug, but my God, the quality is so good. It's a story about sex, marijuana, Mexican food, I believe Mexican food.
I'm liking it so far. Okay.
And cannibalism.
Okay, you lost me.
It's crazy.
Maybe if you tried one of those cookies, you'd have a different opinion.
Yeah, baby.
That's just...
Well, that's the thing. They're eating these people in the podcast, and they don't know that they're eating the people. I don't want to give away too much because you got to listen to it, but my gosh, it's so good.
I mean, I'm sure... they would have tasted gross, in like flesh-like, so what the hell would they taste like in ashes? That's just...
I don't know. Yeah.
That's so weird. Like, I've had... Yeah, what the fuck? I'll say it. I've had pot laced brownies before and pot laced cookies. I've had that shit.
I think it's completely different than eating flesh, though.
It's completely different, and I'm just wondering.
Completely different. I don't imagine it tastes at all.
I wish I was there, like when they ate the cookie.
I mean, people taste
he was like, this is an interesting flavor. I can put my finger on it, and then he'd be like, well, there was a finger, and toes, and eyes, and a nose, and a mouth, and a tongue, and.
I mean, pop brownies, they have that sweet flavor. People taste like chicken. So I've been told.
Yeah, well, not everything tastes like chicken now.
But when it's ash, it doesn't matter whose ash it is. It doesn't matter if it's like fox ash or gorilla ash or human ash. It's going to be the same because it's ash, right?
I guess.
Like it's just burnt remains.
Yeah, that's just nasty. Like there'd be people that like I had a stoner friend who said like when he dies, he wants all his best friends to like break up the ash. Like cremate and put it over his weed and smoke them. And he want all his best friends to do that when he dies. And I said, remind me not to be your best friend when you fucking die, because that's gross. I'm not doing that.
You always know what
I'm not smoking you, man.
I've always wanted to have I want a casket, and I've said it on the show before. I'm not going to go through the whole story. I want a casket so people can have a drink on me at the end and have a big party.
I do remember you telling me that, and that is actually a superb idea.
And I only want it at Hahn Funeral Home, the only family-owned funeral home here in Millville. And hell, you can even give me a green burial because Hahn Funeral Home, right here in Millville, family-owned, sponsors. They're known for the green burial. That's Hahn Funeral Home right here in Millville. I don't know. I feel bad. That's the one thing I feel bad for your story, the Hood Rat of the Week, is those grandparents were cheated out of their opportunity to have a fine, dignified burial at Hahn Funeral Home.
I feel like that's not where their ashes was intended to go. I'm sure they wanted it to be like
Hahn Funeral Home,
or spread over something nice,
or spread in Hahn Funeral Home.
Hahn's Funeral Home on the lawn or something, anywhere other than in cookies served to children. Just
maybe they're bakers.
Like I wish
maybe that's the ultimate dream. They become their creation.
And why? Like it just raises more questions. Like when did they die? Like there's no article that says when they died. Did they die recently? Is this some old shit that he just was grandma and granddad like on the shelf? And then he just said,
how old was this
kid? They won't say, but because it's a charter, I think it's a charter high school, so I'm guessing he's
Okay, so he's
somewhere
old
between...
enough to know that that's not okay.
Yeah. Oh, well, how old is it to know that that's wrong? Like, seriously, like, you don't have to be 15 to know that's wrong. You should know at, like, 5. Like, should I be doing this? Like, is grandma and granddad going to be happy about me cooking them in cookie batter and serving it to my friends? Like, that sounds fucked up.
But see, you're being judgmental, Jay. You don't know
You're
that
damn
that's...
right I'm being
you don't know
judgmental,
that that's not what they want. Maybe they wanted to be eaten. Maybe they wanted to...
then they should have interviewed the kids, too, that ate the damn cookies, and let's hear their testimony and shit. Like, I thought they were delicious.
Maybe they were.
But it's California, so they might have had some like hippie parents that like believe in
that is possible.
Some sort
That's
of
what
like
I'm
edible
saying.
cremation ritual, like you don't know.
That's what I'm saying, Jay. You're being very judgmental.
I am
here.
being very judgmental because that is some shit that I'm just gonna say it. My people would never be involved in. Like that's just some. I'm just gonna throw that out there, man. Like I'm like my people, the viewers watching right now are like, no, Jay is like on the ball here. Like no, he's like right on the nose with this shit. Like no, ew, that's gross. I mean,
it is bizarre.
Like what if he? Okay, look, why stop at cookies? Spread it over pizza. Put it in a hoagie, put it in a pierogi, soak it in butter with some slivered onions and shit. Yum. Dead people. That's just...
I'm sure he didn't use all the ashes. There's probably still some left if you want to try.
Why would you say that? That's just even worse. Like,
you have the opportunity.
He's like, I'm not going to use all of you guys. I'm just going to give them just a taste of you. Like, that's just...
Listen to Dolores Roach.
Oh, my God.
Free plug again. I can't help it. Gimlet's so good. They really are.
Now, I'm going to have to look up this Dolores Roach.
Yeah, you need to listen to this. It's
the name alone is catchy. I like the name, so I'm just like, Dolores Roach.
It's great. So we're not going to jump into this too much because we kind of got sidetracked with some good stuff here.
Yes.
But I do want to give a big shame and a finger wag at the Republicans in Harrisburg who completely botched an attempt, and I agree with our Attorney General, Josh Shapiro. I think it's
cool
time.
Name. I like that.
He does have a cool name, and he's the one that who led the grand jury report that investigated the child sex ring that the Catholic Church allegedly was running and involved in and helped cover up.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a bill in the legislature here in Harrisburg that would get rid of the statute of limitations for suing the Catholic Church to allow victims to sue the church for damages. And the Republicans cowered to the power of the Catholic Church, and they fell short on the opportunity to hold the organization accountable.
Yeah, plus I also heard that how long was it like a week or so ago that Worrell stepped down, or
the bishop, the cardinal,
the cardinal, yeah,
he was the bishop for much of this
I remember
tragedy.
because I went to Catholic school and I remember him coming to my school. Like,
wow,
yep, shout out to Saint Benedict the Moor, yeah.
But I think that
the only all-black Catholic school.
The Catholic Church bears a lot of responsibility for the cover-up involved in this child sex ring that occurred under their domain.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry if it bankrupts the church. I'm sorry if the church is going through a financially challenging time due to a decline in membership. But you know what? They don't have anyone to blame but themselves. They already had a declining membership, and I'm not an anti-Christian person, so don't think that I'm coming at it from that perspective.
Right.
I am an anti-covering up child rape person.
Yes.
And it's time that the Catholic Church is held accountable, and if that means that the Catholic Church falls apart in this area, well then so be it. They shouldn't have been hiding child predators. And there's a special place in hell for everyone and anyone involved in the cover-up or in the attempt to block a law to bring some small semblance of justice.
Some type of justice, yeah.
To the victims. And if you're in Harrisburg and you did your part to stand in the way, there's a special place in hell for you too. And it's waiting. And you'll see it. Because it's coming. Mark my words.
Judgment Day.
There's a special place in hell for you.
That was creepy when you did it. That came out of nowhere. I got chills, man.
There's a special place in hell for you. There's a special place in hell for you, and I'll be laughing when I see you roasting there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really sad.
It is sad.
Josh Shapiro,
because people have joked about this. Like people have been joking about the Catholic and the priest and the children for many, many years, and for it to finally come to light. Here. I mean, we've heard it from other parts of the country and stuff, but
I will say also that the people who are laughing and the people who are taking in some sort of joy in the demise of the Catholic Church because of this situation to fulfill a void in their own moral inadequacies, there might be a place specially reserved for them as well. If you take any kind of joy in a child being raped because you're able to pat yourself on the back because you feel smarter because you were able to say, oh, look how right I was about the Catholic Church. You should be ashamed of yourself because there's no joy in that. And it doesn't matter where your beliefs are. You should never take any kind of solace in the kind of abuse that went down within the Catholic diocese here in Pittsburgh. Yeah. And shame on you if you find even a sliver of satisfaction, self-satisfaction, when it comes to this situation. Shame on you.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of that on social media, and I know social media brings out the worst in people.
It does.
But you know what? It is a public forum. And I know some of the people that have made some comments. And yes, I am judging you, and I will forever judge you for it. So
yeah,
that's all I really want to say on it.
That's just going to be a huge crushing blow for the Catholic.
Well, sure.
And now with the feds getting involved and stuff, I'm like, how long?
They should, yeah.
How long is it going to take for them to get back to the way things was? And people aren't going to forget. They're not going to forget, but the reputation has been soured now.
Well, sure, yeah, and that's what I said. If it gets to the point where the Catholic Church is no more, then so be it. They dug their own grave, and I don't feel sorry for them in any way.
That would be weird if that happened, because they're the second longest religion. Right?
I mean, it'll never entirely go away.
No,
because somebody's going to practice it. Someone's going to preach it somewhere.
But, if it falls apart in this area, there's less churches. They have less money. I just don't feel any sympathy for them, I guess is my point.
Oh, definitely. No.
So, all right, so we got that out of the way. I just wanted to make sure we covered that because it's a big thing going on in the news. I think it's important to discuss, and it's something I wanted to talk about before, but we just never were able to get around to it. But moving on to something more positive, we have the Acoustic Brunch coming up this Sunday. It's an awesome time.
Yes.
Get the burrito. The burrito, they said. Elena, when you were there, so we're here with Elena Rayn in studio. You're performing at the brunch.
The gorgeous Elena Rayn.
Back into Pittsburgh. You lived in Pittsburgh. You're back in Pittsburgh. Are you a fan of burritos?
I guess it depends on what's in them, what's covering them.
Like a breakfast burrito.
A breakfast burrito. I could do a breakfast burrito.
I get the breakfast burrito at Hambones. Get it with hot sauce. It's so good.
Probably after I sing, because, the hot sauce and...
burrito, yeah.
You don't want to have the shits on stage, man. That's
No. Yeah.
So welcome back to Pittsburgh. Are you happy to be back here in the Steel City?
I am. It's great.
You moved to California, right?
I did. Yeah, and it's fun. It's fun being here because I've been on a couple of shows in California and everyone's so mellow, and you guys are just going at it, really attacking some really serious topics. So
this
good
is
for
what
you.
we do.
I like it. It's very raw. I like it. I appreciate it.
I feel like
I miss that.
Good. I'm glad. And I feel like even here you get so many radio shows that just talk about fluff. Like, that doesn't have any meaning. We try to make it fun, but we also try to, like, deal with what's going on here, and we don't talk about Trump or Kavanaugh or anything else that everybody's talking about on every single station that you can find across the country. We try to focus on what's going on here locally in Pittsburgh and issues that really matter that no one else is really addressing.
Yeah, it's important, and it's the things that are happening here are reflected in the rest of the country too, because what's happening in the cities is happening in most cities in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a lot of similar issues that are pretty universal, so it's important.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. So you're back here in Pittsburgh, and you're performing at the Acoustic Brunch. What brought you back to Pittsburgh?
I have family here, so I'm here visiting.
Okay.
I very reluctantly, I'm not the biggest fan of coming home, Just
Why is that?
Being the fact that I'm like a hoe for a living, my family's.
Yeah, we're gonna need you to elaborate on that because we just picked up some new viewers after they heard that.
Hi. yes, you didn't know it was that kind of show. So yeah, I'm an escort, and prior to that, I was a dancer. I worked here at Blush, which is now closing, unfortunately.
Are they? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know Blush was going.
Yeah, they're bought by Rick's Cabaret, which is a national chain. So
Wow.
Yeah, for better or for worse, who knows what'll happen. But at any rate, I used to work there. If family is, they're okay. They're chilling. They're like, okay, yeah, that's interesting. You do what you do. But they're not the most thrilled about it. And it's always just really awkward, like having conversations, family dinner, like elephant in the room. Everyone's kind of like, hey, so how's life? Yeah, that stuff you're doing. That's cool. Oh, yeah, I heard you did a show. Yeah, it was a burlesque show. Oh, interesting. Burlesque. Oh, yeah, I've heard of that before.
Now, why do they people talk, burlesque is actually a nice style of, that's performing.
I mean,
that's a performance.
Let's be real. It's all performance. It's all performance to varying degrees. But yes, burlesque is. But for the Catholics, I have some Catholic family, and they're just, to
Are
them,
they
it's like
hardcore Catholic?
Yeah. I mean, half my family is Latino Catholics, which are like really hardcore Catholics.
Yeah.
And then there's like
Dios mío.
Dios mío is right, like the whole like Opus Dei, like baptism thing, all of that. And then my white family is also Catholic for the most part, and they're like.
So you got Mexican in your blood?
Not Mexican, no.
Latino. Sorry. Had to fix that. Latino.
Like with what's been going on in the unfortunate tragedies that are going on in the Catholic Church, has it humbled your family at all towards what you do?
I don't think there's any humbling most Catholics, no offense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of unchanged, the attitudes.
Yeah, and to them, it's just so deeply ingrained in their minds that, like, woman is for a man. A woman gets married, that's her number one priority in life, is like a woman having a nice husband and being monogamous and like not showing her ankles. Like, it's just so ingrained in that culture that like it doesn't even matter if God came out and was like, hey, I'm not real. They would still probably believe all of them.
You could show a little bit more than your ankles. Christ, come on, man. You want your husband to stick around, don't you? No, I'm just playing.
Well, I mean, If you met my mother, you would understand.
Yeah.
She's hot. You might want to meet her. She's very conservative, but she's hot, so.
I like hot mothers.
Well, is it hard to come back to Pittsburgh?
Me.
Because I feel like LA is so much more of a liberal, progressive culture than Pittsburgh. Even though Pittsburgh is definitely a liberal city, but they still have some of these deep-rooted conservative viewpoints and values socially. And I feel like it is starting to morph and it's starting to loosen up, but it's still very rigid. So is it awkward in that sense coming back?
I mean, definitely. So I've only been in LA for a year, but even just in that year, I've noticed how many things... how many just cultural beliefs there are in Pittsburgh that are a little more conservative, more like socially conservative, even amongst liberals. And going to LA, I found that the people don't have those preconceived notions at all. They don't have these like barriers. And I almost just thought they were normal because that's all I experienced here. But then once I moved out there, I was like, oh, there's so many people out here that don't think that way. That's crazy. And yeah, it is weird being back now because I remember... how
It
much
used to be much worse.
Oh yeah, it's changed so much since I was young. When I was young, it was almost unbearable for me because I've always been a little like hippie kid.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's also hard for like, well, not
yeah.
hard. It was also eye-opening for someone like me because I was never prejudiced towards anyone, like in the sense like I would look down on anyone for anything. But I grew up out in Westmoreland County, and if you think Pittsburgh's bad, that's even.
Well, I grew up kind of out that
so.
way as well. I was born in New Ken. I grew up in Natrona Heights. I didn't.
So you
move.
understand, yeah.
Yes, yeah. It was really weird. Even just so, I'm incredibly white, as you can see, but I'm Latina, and so I have like a weird name. My real last name is really weird, and so even just that and knowing Spanish, I got so much crap from people in school, just like kind of making fun of me, poking jokes at like, what's your name? What did you say? Like, are you Mexican? Like, kind of, you didn't mean it, so I forgive you. But
now,
people kind of throwing shade about it, you know?
Okay, well, for those who don't know, like, Latina in what kind of, like, what part of, because I always wonder what Latina is actually. Like, it's.
Oh, wow.
Are we talking like parts of Spain? We talking like. Some
okay,
of the...
so it's all South America, Central America, and then Spain is technically Hispanic. So,
True.
yeah.
Okay.
And so a lot of people in Latin America have Spanish ancestry because the Spanish conquered and colonized all of Latin America and Central America and some of the U.S. So there's definitely ancestry there, but yeah, there's like a pretty decent distinction between Latino and Hispanic. Okay. So I'm Peruvian, which is South America.
Okay.
Yeah. And so
See?
Mexican is a part of that diaspora. So.
Yeah. See, I learned something, and so did you. See?
Yeah.
Aren't you glad I asked? Because I had no idea.
So Westmoreland County, yeah, you understand how it is, and it's like when I moved to the city, you didn't I always treated everybody with respect because that's how I was always brought up, but like you didn't understand certain lifestyles or understand people's mentality, and then when you meet them, it's kind of eye-opening, and then you understand, and you're like, oh, okay, it's just how they are. I never had met a transsexual person, for example, living out in Westmoreland County until I moved to the city.
Yeah, I guess that's valid. There's probably not a lot of those in Westmoreland County.
No, there's not. So, I didn't really, I guess, understand, how or why. And then, when you meet these people, you're like, okay, some of these people I've met, I couldn't imagine them any other way.
Yeah.
So, when you live in an area where you're sheltered and you haven't been exposed to different people, especially in a situation like that, you're thinking, well, why did this person choose to go this way or that way? And it's not necessarily a choice, but if you haven't met that person, you don't know their personality, and it's harder to grasp that.
Yeah, I mean, even when I was in high school, being gay was such a taboo.
Right.
Because I lived in the middle of nowhere.
Same here, yeah.
And to me, I mean, so my family, a lot of them live in Peru. I traveled a lot as a kid. I spent a lot of time there, a lot of time in Europe. So, I had kind of a broader worldview. And also my mom was really liberal. And so then to see all these people, seriously bullying kids for being gay, I got made fun of for I'm not even gay, and there were rumors that I was gay, and people wouldn't talk to me because of it. And I was like, "Are you serious? This is a thing?" And it's really freaky when you go to certain parts of the country, especially living in LA. It's kind of a bubble. Mm-hmm. People are pretty open-minded, and then you just kind of. I come home here and just hearing things people say, little microaggressions, even just my family stuff that they'll say about women, about people of different races. It's weird. It's scary because there's such a gradient.
Mm-hmm. This country is like that. I mean, because you knew that I lived in Europe.
Yeah,
I lived in Germany for 6 years and stuff. Yeah, military brat. Yep. So the people there in Germany, and then when we check out other parts of Europe, I've been to Spain, I've been to Italy, I've been to France and stuff, and everybody there was very friendly. And if there was any type of prejudice, it was only because of our nationality, because we were American. That was it.
Which is totally understandable.
Well, yeah, that's cool. I'm like, well, it feels nice to be hated for the right reasons, right. instead of something stupid like ethnicity. And as soon as I came back to the States in 1993, I just heard it was just bad, the things that came out of people's mouths, and I'm like, wow, these people are really ignorant.
Yeah.
damn, like in Europe, man, and I don't know about the other parts of the country, but they were just more carefree and stuff and friendly and everything, and just sex was like huge in Europe, you know.
Oh,
It's
Yeah, here it's so
big down there.
taboo.
They
What
have,
about-
as soon as you
about
come to
us-
America, like you can see like a European commercial, and there's women walking around like damn near butt naked, and that's normal to them. But
A lot of
here,
that has to do with our Puritan ancestry.
They gotta cover shit up and everything, but
And also like the brothel culture and like there's sex work is legal in like everywhere in Europe.
Yeah.
This is the only country where there's so many prejudices against sex, like people that use their body for money, whether it's strippers, people that work in porn, escorts, anything. There's so much crap against that, so much stigma, and then also being an escort is illegal. So you can like rape little boys in the Catholic Church, but you can't sell your
Right.
body for money consensually.
exactly.
I do want to talk about your escort work
hypocritical.
and in your music career. Now, you've managed to tie them together in some way.
Yeah,
Now, explain
yeah.
that. How have you done that?
So it's something that sort of came up organically. It was when I initially decided that I wanted to start doing music professionally. I just, I had like my alter ego, and then I had somebody that like, danced at night, and it wasn't really connected for me at all. But then as I continued to write songs, I realized that all of them were pretty much about sex work. Like they were all like my
Well,
new.
if that's,
my-
yeah,
go
if
ahead.
that's what you're passionate about, or that's what your career is, then of course it's kind of like me talking about the DMV. You
Yeah.
write about what
You write about your
Talk
experience.
about what you know.
Yeah, and I feel like for anyone that works in this industry, there are songs here and there that you can kind of research and pick out that are about women working in this industry. But there's so many love songs. There's so many songs that cater to a certain demographic of people, and sex workers have very different experiences of life. I mean, like commodifying love, selling compassion, affection. It's such a different model. And it also makes your entire life different. Even though it might just be a job, like a face you put on, just like any other job, it makes your family, your friends treat you different. It makes a lot of people not want to have relationships with you because they are afraid of you, or they don't like to share, or whatever.
Or intimidated.
Yeah, they're
That's
intimidated.
the big thing with people these days. They're intimidated by the opposite sex, watching who they're with and everything. They're insecure. It's just
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And there's so many hang-ups about sexuality, and people have their, like, I could never take you home to my mom, or just stupid.
oh, been there. Yeah.
Stupid stuff like that. So I felt like I needed to write songs not only for myself, just to work through all those emotions, but also for that demographic of people, which is large. A lot of women, a lot of even men in this country, trans, participate in sex work at some point in their lives to some degree.
some people have to just to survive. Even,
I mean,
because they,
there's-
it's a way to make money, and
Yeah.
It is.
And if you're one of those people who's
supposedly
stuck-
the oldest profession, right?
Well, we
Yeah.
say,
Or one of them.
well, we talk about people, we talked about Walmart, right? And retail people, and you cannot feed a family doing that job. So that's another type of employment that you can use to help succeed in your life.
Yeah, and in a world where I'm sure you'll agree there's a lot of glass ceilings and barriers for women in a lot of different industries where sex work is kind of catered towards us. It's almost like it's very much seen as a bad thing by society at large, but at the same time, all of the like 25 plus men that are paying for it are very happy that we're around.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, it's one of the most viable
Well-
options. It's one of the best ways for a young woman to make good money.
Once again, hypocrisy. Like we'll talk about it, but at the same time, we'll watch it. We'll pay to watch it. We'll pay to do it.
That's the thing. How many
But
senators?
but it's wrong though. I'm just
How many of these senators that are passing these laws or fighting against changing laws are having services provided for them on the side?
Exactly. These like anti-SESTA, FOSTA, like people are supporting these things, and then like Donald Trump with Stormy Daniels.
Yeah, I heard he went. I heard he went raw on her too, which was like damn, like
Can you
all
imagine?
that for
Oh my
only
God.
$90,000. That's it.
I would have to have like a total cleansing. Maybe I would have to need like a replacement vagina. Like I'm not a big believer in like the spiritual energy, all that stuff. But I mean, if I had sex with Donald Trump, I think I'd have really bad demons or something living inside of me. That's freaky.
So
I would take several hot showers.
talking about your music and what you do, Do you feel like you have been able to use your music as a form of advocacy?
Yeah.
And how kind of an impact have you seen yourself make to help spread awareness? Have you seen like people change their minds? Have you seen people grow from your art?
To some degree, yeah. I mean, I'm still pretty new at what I do, but I do get a lot of feedback, definitely from clients of mine, actually. They love, because, clients can definitely feel the same shame that we feel, that like, oh my God, I shouldn't be doing this. This is bad. Why am I seeing this person? I shouldn't want this. And so it's nice for them to have like kind of a voice of reassurance. And then it's also nice for other people that work in my industry, people that often don't get a lot of voice, people that feel like they have to hide out and kind of just like keep to themselves so that people don't judge them. It's and also there's this big sort of trend in entertainment of a lot of women and men even have engaged in sex work to make their way in different industries. But there's this big sort of hush-hush about it, like, don't talk about it. Like, you can do this for a little bit, make your money, but then, like, nobody has to know, just move on.
Right.
And I think that needs to change. And so even though a lot of people have given me the advice to separate these things, I decided to merge them together because I think it's important for people to see, hey, you can be a sex worker, be a normal person, make good music, support your community. Yeah.
I haven't heard one negative thing yet.
Well, on a music career standpoint, actually, I think it's kind of beneficial because it separates you and it makes you more unique.
Thank you.
Because everyone knows in the entertainment business you have to stand out.
Yeah.
Or else no one's going to see who you are. And I think you're speaking a message that you don't hear people speak about in the public so openly in their music. And like you said, you may be able to find bits and pieces in different songs, but it's not so transparent. So I feel like it does make you unique.
Right. You're real.
Yeah.
You're not fake. You're laying all the cards out on the table. People know who you are. They know what you're about. Because there's a lot of people in the industry, in music, acting, whatever, that put us on this fake persona in front of people and lead people to believe that this is what they're about, and then beneath it all they're completely different. So it's nice when you can just be yourself.
Right.
Well, we're going to get back to
a lot less exhausting.
Elena Rayn in 1 second, but before we do, because we're going to wrap up with your song, we're going to end the show with that. But before we do that, Jaye, you do have an event coming up. I want to make sure I don't miss that.
I do, yes. Me and Howie D. Mack, once again, our installment of Laughs at the Landing, going down at Rocks Landing and McKees Rocks. Yeah, y'all can hear me, right? 506 Chartiers Avenue, Laughs at the Landing at Rocks Landing. We got, this is actually, we didn't even mean for this to happen, but the 3 comedians who we have working with us, they are all on the PC TV show Comics on Life. So we got Just Janelle, who part of Jan Joy Productions. She runs the comedy club over in Swissvale at the Tees Lounge. We got Stefan Braxton he is the host of Comics on Life, and also he has his own show, the Stefan Braxton Show on PCTV, which you can see on Comcast and Verizon. And then our headliner, David the Frog Bay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sneezing. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. But yeah, all 3 of these guys, phenomenal comedians and stuff. Howie D. Mack hosting the show, DJ Rock on the 1s and 2s. We're going to have a good time. It's next Saturday at 9 p.m. Rocks Landing, Last at the Landing. Come out for that. And then also, I'm throwing this out there now because I'm going to talk about it every week until it happens. November 15th at the Pittsburgh Improv. I will be there for the 5th year in a row for the Pittsburgh Improv Comedy Contest. Come out, vote for me, laugh, enjoy yourself, have a good time.
All right. Yeah. Elena Rayn, wrapping things up. That's Jaye Cooper. I'm Brian Crawford. This is River Talk. This is the River's Edge Radio Network.
Now let's rock out.
Don't forget, I won't be here this Sunday. I'll be in Tennessee, but Christine Marie will be filling in for me. Zach fell behind the board, as always. But that's going to be this Sunday, 7 p.m., so don't forget to tune into River Talk, as always, right here, broadcasting from beautiful Mr. Small's Theater. This is the River's Edge Radio Network. Elena Rayn to wrap things up for us right here on the River's Edge, Pittsburgh's voice for local music.
Later, bitches.
This one's called My Love. It's coming out in January, so stay tuned. Meow. Do you always live your life with one foot in the water, one on the land? Your fins cresting the waves, your toes sinking in the sand. Oh, did you ever wonder what it's like to bend a little bit? If it's trouble that you're looking for, baby, this could be it. Say you wouldn't take me rain or shine, but I could show you what a storm feels like. People don't love like they used to, but me, I'm still real, my love. It's you I want to be close to. I'll always be here, my love. I know that somebody hurt you, but she's not like me, my love. I understand what you've been through, but you don't got to feel my love. Tell me, how does it feel to be close to somebody for the first time? I remember subtle taste, but the smile on your face is new, sublime. Can you explain to me what it means to be whole? I am from another world where we don't think about these things, so I don't know. If I could be everything you ever dreamed, wouldn't we be cherry pie? Safe within the breeze of the summer sky, surfing on clouds, catching winds to a better time. But if you can keep me safe and warm, I'll always be here, my love. I know that you've been hurt before, but you don't got to feel my love. I know these things that they take time, just know that I'm real, my love. So hold me down loose, you'll be just fine. You don't got to fear my love. Can you show me what it's like, sipping sunsets from your eyes? Can you tell me how it feels, gripping onto something real? Just a drifter in the night, looking for a pair of lips to feed my appetite. But if you're good to me, I might stay here and keep you safe and warm. I'll always be here, my love. I know that you've been hurt before, but you don't got to fear my love. I know these things that they take time, just know that I'm real, my love. Hold me down loose, you'll be just fine. You don't got to fear my love. Fear my love.